game winner felt to me, and probably all the other Spurs fans, just as much of a stab to the heart as far as crazy ways to lose a game or win a game, depending on your perspective. Lou, do you remember a crazier one? Can we think of a crazier one than this or Ray Allen?
It's gonna go. Yeah, it's gonna go on a wall with the Ray Allen shot. You know, that's one of the more memorable ones that I can think of. You know, simply because of the fact that they actually had the rope out, they had the fans back, they were in full celebration mode for the Spurs at that point.
Ugh.
So, you know, this game being down 29. Quick shot. I kind of cringed when Jalen Brunson shot this one because I was like, ooh, I don't know if that was the attempt that I wanted for the game. But this was huge for OG not to quit on the play. Both teams gave up big offensive rebounds at the end of this game to sway it one way or another. But this is going to go down in history as one of the bigger tip-ins in NBA Finals history. I think what De'Aaron Fox did is also going to go on the wall of bonehead plays that's happened in NBA Finals history as well. You can't really put a measuring stick on that. But that was huge for OG. The second half that he had behind the three-point line and to be able to win a game from just an effort play, that tells you everything you need to know about his identity, what he brings to the table for the Knicks. He's just steady. He's been a steady guy. We've had conversations about Brunson. We've had conversations about Cat. It's time to talk about OG Anunoby and him being this Finals MVP conversation, especially after the game that he had last night, especially after the effort and the effort that he showed just to have the will of not wanting to lose a game when you get so close to it and not leaving without it. Huge kudos to him, man.
Lou, you made a good point, Lou. If OG doesn't tip this in, we're probably sitting here dissecting what a horrible game-winning shot that is from Brunson right there and how he settled and how he didn't get to the rim. And I know it's easy to pile on De'Aaron Fox here this morning. Their defensive scheme was to put no one on the ball, which I thought was weird. Maybe put a big guy, put Wemby or put someone on the ball to maybe get a deflection or a steal. But then obviously they wanted to take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands. So De'Aaron Fox comes to double team, and that lets OG just run to the basket free. So I know it looks like a missed box out. It wasn't, and I know people are going nuts on De'Aaron Fox for the certain play. He was clearly told to come and double team Jalen Brunson and try and take the ball out of his hands. Jalen shot over the double team, which left a 4-on-3 on the back, and OG, credit to him, continued to play. So this, I mean, it's a fluke. This ball bounces anywhere else other than where it did. This series is tied 2-2, and again, I think we're kind of ridiculing Jalen Brunson for this shot attempt, but these are the plays that OG has been making all season, all playoffs, and again, to me, Jalen Brunson's still the Finals MVP. The dude put up, what did he put up last night? 36, 7, and 5, and he was a lot more efficient. I mean, he was 12 for 25 last night. He was a lot more efficient than he was. But
OG's coming, Chandler. OG's coming for that title.
I think he's got.
It's a serious conversation. It's a serious conversation.
I definitely think OG has definitely positioned himself to be considered, for Finals MVP. I thought in the beginning, Cat was kind of leading the way, setting the tone for this Knicks group, and things were flowing for him well, especially when they took the 2-0 lead. So early on, you kind of see Cat doing this thing, and it's like, oh, this is an easy decision. He's carrying the team. He's playing very well. Shooting percentages are really good. Numbers are good to back it up. Defense was on par. He was doing a great job against Wemby early on in the series. So I thought it was a pretty clear-cut decision as far as who was the best player for the Knicks at that moment. Obviously, OG is taking this game to a whole nother level. Cat has kind of, took his foot off the gas and regressed a bit, later on in this series. But, OG stepped up. He's kind of filled that void, and he's now kind of at the point of being that guy that's carrying this squad. Big shot after big shot, big play after big play. He's doing it on both ends of the floor. We give a lot of credit to Wemby with how he, controls the game on both sides of the floor. This is another guy, OG, who's also kind of doing the same thing, not at the same, clip or rate or even at the same level of a Wemby, but he has a huge impact on both sides of the floor for this Knicks group. So just speaking on that part alone, he's definitely put himself in a position to be considered. And when we sit here and talk about, some of the craziest shots we've seen in, playoff history, finals history, things of that nature, and I could be wrong, but the last crazy shot I remember, I would say, was the Raptors. What was the Raptors when Kawhi hit the crazy baseline?
The conference
and
finals,
killed
yeah.
it. Yeah, so that's probably the last big one. I don't know if we were speaking on playoffs or final shots, but
You speak
I
on
thought
whatever you want, Boogie. You just speak.
But as far as OG and how he's performed and kind of positioned himself, I agree with the guys. He definitely should be considered for Finals MVP.
Yeah. You know, one
It's
thing
kind of
that
funny.
I like out of everybody on the Knicks team, OG has zero fear of Wemby. He's the one guy that attacks Wemby every opportunity that he gets. Like from whether he's going to shoot a three, he's not worried about the closeout, whether he's putting it on the ground, finishing strong at the rim. He's the one guy that's been able to attack Wemby and show some weaknesses in his defensive game when it comes to just somebody constantly attacking him. You got to give him credit for that. Like that alone is worth him being in the conversation of the Finals MVP just by the way that he's been able to attack and to go 7 from 9 from the 3-point line to get them back in this game in the second half. You definitely got to put him in this conversation. I don't care what's going on. You got to put him in the conversation.
With a game winner too. Like,
heck yeah.
I don't even know if we should consider it just putting him in the conversation. I think he's, as far as consistency from game one to now, I think he's been your most consistent Knick as far as performance, numbers, and everything that it takes to take home, the Finals MVP. So I think we kind of shortchange him by saying, like, yeah, he should be in the conversation. I think he's been the best Knick clear cut from start to finish as of right now. So
damn it,
I'm sure things can change down the line.
For OG?
I know. We should have done it. Silent assassin, right there the whole time. I like the idea that like Kat and Brunson are sort of just battling it out over here, and here comes OG just quietly behind everybody. I love everything about it. Look, there's not a whole plethora to choose from in Knicks playoff history. So I'll ask you this. Obviously, Willis Reed comes to mind as the most famous up to this point. Did we just witness the best playoff moment in Knicks history, Chandler?
It was one of the best playoff games I've ever seen. So, yeah, I would say for sure. I mean, in my lifetime, in my era that I've been watching the NBA, I don't remember a better game that was so bad and such a blowout to such a turnaround. It was funny. My kids were sick last night, and my wife wanted me to go up and do bath time with her. And it was a 25-point game. And I said, babe, this game is not over. I can't go upstairs yet. And I was kind of lying. Just I wanted to watch the end of the game. And then it just kept dwindling down. And she came back down. It was like 17. I'm like, see, look, I'm not lying. I can't come up there yet. And it just kept coming. And you just have that thought when you're watching this Knicks team that they are so resilient and they never give up. Like my buddy I was with, he live bet them like down 28 to like risk like $400 to win like $6,000 or something. It was like something nuts. And you can do that with this Knicks team. Like they don't stop. They never hang their head. Like they're a better team when they're losing going into the fourth quarter because they come together. Jalen Brunson last night even deferred a little bit and let other people get involved and had a more balanced attack offensively. We already talked about OG and Alvarado. We haven't talked about him.
That's true.
He only played 15 minutes and he had 8 points, but that was the one of the more impactful playoff performances I've ever seen. Just picking guys up full court, big buckets, big timely buckets, just making all the energy and hustle plays. And a lot of people don't like to talk about that because they're going to talk about Brunson. They're going to talk about OG's tip in. They're going to talk about all the mistakes that the Spurs made. But, man, Jose Alvarado came in and he completely changed the game with just his effort and his energy and some big buckets. So, listen, this was a favorite game, one of my favorite games I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm still shocked. Like it is, I can't imagine how San Antonio feels right now.
Alvarado with the biggest player of the
it.
game with the MMA takedown on Wemby. So I think that was the highlight for him.
Didn't I call it? I called it yesterday. I said Alvarado and Mitchell Robinson, they gonna get their hands dirty. And sure enough, both of them made attempts. I was like, yes, I knew it. Somebody got to do the dirty
behind it. For sure.
Yeah, somebody got to do that.
And even the
shout
first
out
play
Mike
of the
Brown
game
for making that adjustment. Yeah, man. Shout out Mike Brown for making that adjustment, knowing that you need a ball handler in the game, knowing that they're running and jumping and trapping Bronson, and they need somebody to be able to create and hold it down, and to go with Alvarado at such a time in the game, and to let him play extended minutes, trusting a guy off your bench that's not necessarily known for scoring a basketball, but can get you in a position to be able to create. Man, big shout out to Mike Brown for recognizing that he made a lot of different adjustments during that game that I thought got them into a place. I know my guy. I can't think of his name right. McBride. McBride hasn't played his best. Right away, he goes with Clarkson. Clarkson didn't have a great game, but he get a bucket, right? You go earlier in this playoffs, he didn't have minutes for Alvarado. He finds it in this game where he needs a guy that can be able to handle the ball and to be able to create and alleviate some of that pressure off of Bronson. And he played some huge minutes. Like Chandler said, he only had 8 points, but the impact that he had on this game, it goes way, way off the charts of what you needed from him at that time. So shout out to Mike Brown for making the appropriate adjustments and getting him in that position.
No.
That was good coaching. Let's talk about the other side of things. How much of the blame do you think, rightfully, Mitch Johnson deserves this morning? Lou, you want to go first?
Everybody's gonna share the blame in this one. You know,
Yeah,
they didn't adjust
Evenly?
No, I'm not gonna give it even. I'm not gonna give it even. I think that, you know, he just got caught up in having too much confidence in his group and not making adjustments when they were making that run. You know, when you get, like I said, when you drink the Kool-Aid and you go up 29 points and you have the team that you have, you kind of get tricked into thinking they're playing better than they're playing and they're going to be able to withstand these runs. I don't think he made adjustments. And all the whole while, I thought Mike Brown, every single play down the court, he adjusted to one thing, adjusted to another. He didn't allow them to play the foul game with Mitchell Robinson. He played offense, defense early in this fourth quarter where he was able to get him off the floor. He had Cat guarding the inbounder. Cat tips the ball where Castle is wide open for the alley-oop. Playing Alvarado. Like, he made so many different adjustments. I just didn't see it from Mitch Johnson. I didn't see him getting involved in this game and making the appropriate adjustments. So no, I don't think it's even for anybody, but he's gonna hold his fair share. I'd be curious to see what the guys got to say about it.
I agree. I think it's a fair share of blame for everybody across the board. But I more so look at it, I feel like the group just got comfortable. Even though this has been, you know, an ongoing issue as far as them closing out games, I think that lead last night was fool's gold. Everybody
they had record threes, Boogie. They had record threes in the first half and finals.
And I think all of that was fool's gold. It got to the point where they got to the point where they maybe thought the game was over before halftime. And deservingly so with such a comfortable lead. But, you know, part of winning this series is also knowing your opponent. And your opponent has shown that the game isn't over until it's over. They've shown that they have a huge push when it comes to the fourth or the second half of these games. And they've shown that they're going to always continue to fight back until the clock is at zero. So knowing these things, I think the Spurs group got comfortable. And sometimes when you do have big leads, you go out there, you kind of play free, you play lackadaisical, you don't play with the same type of urgency. And the next thing you know, you do have a game on your hands. So I think it was more so getting a little too comfortable. I also blame the inexperience. And everybody we're mentioning, we keep kind of avoiding this part, are still in the process of learning how to win. This is a young coach. This is a young group. And even when it comes to the veteran point guard and De'Aaron Fox, this is also another guy that's learning. So I don't want to ignore that part of it when we sit here and critique the mistakes and mess ups throughout their game. But the biggest thing is they're young, they're inexperienced, and they have to learn how to win. And I think that's the problem right now.
Yeah, I think just the nature of the beast, he's going to catch some blame, and he's also a young coach with zero experience, and so I think his substitution patterns were a little off with again with Dylan Harper. I think he kept him out for way too long. He did have 2 timeouts there at the end where I was surprised he didn't burn one earlier when they were going on that run and they were consistently just getting bad possessions and the turnovers by Fox. Then he would dribble off OG's foot, then just kind of hoist a long three. It's like you could tell their offense was getting slowed down and stagnant. Obviously, it's easier for me to sit here from the outside looking in and be like, man, call a timeout, like get everyone settled down. But at the end of the day, he's not on the floor. He's not Wemby missing those free throws at the end of the game. He's not Wemby shooting 25 shots, scoring 25 points. He's not De'Aaron Fox making just unforced turnovers, laying the ball up when he should dribble the ball out. Like, so yes, the coach for his decision-making, his rotations, his in-game on-the-fly adjustments is going to catch some blame. But look no further than this inexperienced young team that is going through it. And yeah, they're growing and they're learning from this, but they are making huge, huge growing pain mistakes in this series. And they're getting exposed with their youth and their inexperience. So Mitch Johnson's going to be a lot better coach from this series. Castle, Wemby, Harper, Fox, all these guys are going to get better from this. It's just going to possibly be at the expense of losing a NBA championship, and that's just going to be part of their story and part of their process. But Mitch Johnson's definitely going to catch some blame because he's also a young coach with not a lot of experience.
Well, side note, Knicks fans continue to show their ass because they waited at the hotel for the Spurs. I mean, they're just the worst group of people in the world. Throwing eggs. You won the game. So if you lose the game, you burn it down and start fights. And if you win a game, you still can't handle it. Like, what's wrong with you animals? Seriously.
Honestly, this really pisses me off. This is just disgusting behavior. Like, again, like you just said, you can't win with this team. You win and you physically throw eggs at a superstar people that everybody's there partially to watch and enjoy him and his talent, and like you're treating him like this. Like, I get it. I love the passion.
This is why they're hated.
The shit talking. But this is why you guys are a bunch of hounds and no one respects you and likes you, because you act like this. Like, it's disgusting. I hate it. There's no room anywhere in sports for this, or in the world for that matter. And I think it's gross. And this is why I think they have that reputation as this fan base. But I hate this for the league. I hate this for everything involved, because there's no room for this. And this is how somebody gets hurt, and this is how someone retaliates, and it becomes a bigger thing. So, New York, you're gross.
They're going to burn it down. They're going to burn it down if Saturday happens.
You know what? I hate it. I hate it that it's some guys out there that's making it hard for you to respect their fan base. Because where I was, I watched the game in two different places last night. I had appearances, and I got to be honest, after that buzzer went off, I've never seen fans celebrate in unison the way that the New York Knicks fans celebrated. But then you look at Instagram, you look at the internet, and then you see things like this, and it puts a cloud over all their heads. It's just not the right way to carry yourselves. It's classless. You throw an egg at a guy. All of this about a basketball. Y'all are stripping jerseys off of fans. Y'all beating people up all over a basketball game. Sports supposed to be a united front. That's the one thing that brings people together. I understand what's at stake here. I understand it's an NBA championship on the line, but this is not how you go about business. Like, can you imagine some of these guys, family and friends that are in town for these games, and you run into them, you're going to catch some action. You're going to get the fight that you're looking for, So thinking some of these guys, like, at the end of the day, Wemby is a 7'5" grown man. If he decides he want to have a problem right there, they're going to turn that street upside down, man. So it's an unfortunate thing. It's classless. I'm scared for what they're going to do if they actually win this championship, because they're acting like this when it's just winning individual games. But listen, it's just a classless way to go about it. It's some bad apples in there, but it makes everybody look bad from the top to bottom when it comes to that fan base, man. I hate it.
I agree with you on that part. I think every group has bad apples. For some reason, when it comes to the Knicks fans, the bad apples are getting the bulk of the highlights as far as when they do win games. So I don't want to sit here and be small-minded and think and group them all together and just say Knicks fans are horrible. I'm pretty sure some good fans. I'm pretty sure some fans handling themselves in the correct way, the correct manner. But to the ones that aren't, kick rocks, playing traffic. It is unacceptable behavior. I don't think any player deserves that. These guys are going out here, risking their bodies, risking their health to entertain these fans. Your entertainment is within the game. After the game is over, all the extracurriculars should be left in the arena. Nobody's telling you can't celebrate or how to celebrate, but when it comes to harming the athletes and things like of that nature, I think it's completely unacceptable. So, like I said, I don't want to group everybody together, but to the bad apples, playing traffic.
Sorry, Beads.
We'll take a quick. What?
I hate it for you.
I mean, well, they're gonna cause problems on Saturday. I can already promise. It's gonna be an interesting dynamic. Chandler, go play golf, yeah?